Harding. Welcome to my blog.stampwithelaine.com and welcome to my brand new Foxy Friends series. To kick off the start of the new series, this first card is really an all bells and whistles card to showcase several of the new products in the catalogue. First we have the Foxy Friends bundle. It's only available as a bundle in the year it's introduced, and there's 10% off to include the stamp set and the punch. I've used the Letters for You and the large letters framelits bundle. This bundle actually coordinates with the large number framelits dies that we had last year. I've also used this Labeler Alphabet photopolymer stamp set. They have extra letters so that you can use it for sentiment. Little Fox Designer Series paper stack. These are 6x6 sheets. There's 48 in the stack and they're double-sided designs. The ink pads I'm using are Calypso Coral, Pool Party, and our new ombre ink, which is also in Calypso Coral. And this is how I got that ombre effect on the letter F. Mento black ink. Woodland textured impressions embossing folder, the Big Shot machine, and a new Big Shot platform which replaces the hinged one that we had with the old Big Shot. If you haven't got a Big Shot machine yet and you purchase Big Shot, they will come with these new format plates. So you'll still need the Big Shot platform, which is the same thickness as the magnetic platform, and they've got a thin die adapter on top. Cardstock you need is half an A4 sheet, and that's been cut at 4 1/8 by 11 3/4, which is 10.5 centimeters by 30 centimeters. With the long side at the top, score at 5 7/8 inches, which is the same as 15 centimeters. For your Calypso Coral mat, that's been cut at 3 3/4 inches by 5 1/2, which is 9.5 centimeters by 14 centimeters. And for the Whisper White layer, that's been cut at 3 5/8 and 5 3/8. That's 9.2 centimeters by 13.7 centimeters. Also need some Whisper White scrap, a sponge dauber, craft knife, and self-healing mat. Let's make a start. Take your embossing folder and ink it up with the Pool Party ink, and you want to ink up the side that has the logo on, the Sizzix logo. So just swipe the ink pad across your textured embossing folder. Place your cardstock and you want to line it up with the base of the pattern here. Okay, and then shut the inked portion on top of it. Take your platform, place one of your plates on top, your embossing folder, and then the top plate, and then you're ready to run it through the Big Shot, and I'll do that off camera. And voila, you have the ink absorbed in between the trees, and the trees will remain uninked. We'll set that aside while we do a bit of stamping. I'm going to just cut a 1 1/4 inch strip of cardstock, Whisper White cardstock, from my Whisper White piece of scrap. We're going to stamp this image of the fox. You can see it better here. Stamp the body first, and I'm going to stamp it on the side. Then stamp the head, keeping clear of the body. And lastly, to stamp the fox's tail. Take your strip, insert it in the punch out the body, followed by the head, finally the tail. We need to stamp the fox's eyes, and we use the widest one in that set. They have a wide, medium and small, and you want to centre the nose right at this point here. Take some glue dots, the back of the fox, pop its tail to the left, leave the head for the moment, bring in your cutting mat, textured embossing folder, and you want to cut right against the tree line here, and then stagger that, say about 1/4 inch up, and make a cut, a parallel cut through the branch so you can tuck the fox's tail in. Inserting the fox's tail through the opening that you've just made, like so. Okay, slide a glue dot underneath his leg and another one where his tail is, a dimensional on the back of the fox's head, and you can have him tilted at an angle. Set that aside again. I'll take the F. Now this is a huge alphabet set, 2 3/8 inches tall, and as you can see there are 3 lots of letters, so it's a huge set. I'm showcasing the ombre ink pad. They do it in 3 colours. There's Rich Razzleberry Ombre Stampin' Pad, the Bermuda Bay Ombre Stampin' Pad, and the Calypso Coral. And I chose to work with the Calypso Coral because the fox is actually in Calypso Coral. It goes from light to dark, and the way to use it, when you pick up the ink, you go in small circular motions and stamp. So this time I need my platform and the adapter, the thin die adapter, the base cutting plate, my cardstock and the die, and top cutting plate, and then I can run it through the Big Shot. Or you can use the magnetic platform to cut your letter. Next I want to spell out my words, so I need and O, X and Y to start with. Second time lucky, I forgot to press record, so I'll just do this quickly. The best way of using these labeler alphabets is to lay your words so that the flat side is facing up, and then place it on the grid paper, and actually the photopolymer is so sticky that if you butt it up to each other it will actually stick together, like so. Can you see that? And it just makes it easier. So then put your block on top to pick up the stamp and you're all ready to go. I have my cushion underneath. Pick up the ink, stamp, snip that up. I made a faux label. I just cut the word up. I cut another strip. I cut a little tail in the middle on both ends. And then just snipped, say about 3/4 inch. My sponge dauber and I sponged it. Sponge the tails. Glue dot on the back. And then pop that on. So there you have a faux label, and turn those on the back, bring this layer back, and I think I'll do this backward so I know what spacing I need. So it starts with a Y, Then we take a scrap of the Little Foxy DSP stack. This is the mushroom design. Tombow on the bottom and sides. Butt it up. You can trim it off afterwards. I'm just going to curl that a little bit. I've cut my dimensionals in half. Pop it on there. Tombow on the back. Tombow on the back of that and straight onto our card base. Centered onto our card base. I hope you've enjoyed today's tutorial. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe or share on Facebook, and my grateful thanks if you do. If you're watching from YouTube, you'll find the list of supplies I used below this video in the Show More section with direct links to my online store. They'll also be listed on my blog here at blog.stampwithelaine.com. You can find me on Facebook, Pinterest or Instagram. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back soon. Bye!